Are you on a dating app and you're just so frustrated that you haven't found anybody yet, or you feel like there's just nobody new or anybody interesting? You have dating app fatigue. And maybe you just need to take a break, or maybe you just need to change the image that you're putting out there. Welcome to my Broken to Brave podcast. I'm Donna Barnes. And yeah, dating sucks. And the whole invention of dating apps in the first place has really changed the way we meet people, because it used to be sitting home alone in your apartment or house, you could not meet somebody. But that is no longer true. And it's been decades. And it's interesting that it's coming back around now. They call it, IRL, right? In real life is now how the younger generations are looking to meet people, because they grew up with dating people on apps and they're tired of it. They recognize the limitations of dating apps and they're going back to being social. And quite frankly, if you are a young person, the benefit of being a young person is that young people like to go out and do things. And that's the best way to meet people. I mean, I'm in my 50s. So when I was in my 20s, there was no internet, no apps. Nobody had a cell phone, really, even until much later, right? So there was no way to meet anybody except to go out and meet them. And honestly, in 2025, that once again is the best way to meet somebody, because you know exactly what you're getting. They're standing in front of you. You can see that they are exactly who they are, and you can ask them anything that you would like to ask them. That's a process. You shouldn't ask them right away. But if you are completely exhausted with the dating apps, I recommend you take a break for a while, but get out and be social. Especially it's the summertime now. It's nice weather. Get out, be social. If someone invites you to something, go, because you never know who you might meet. I still think in real life is the best way to meet somebody, especially if you have fatigue with the dating apps. However, if you don't find somebody and you're not completely ready to throw in the towel with the dating apps, you need to tweak your profile a little bit. And I think it's really helpful to include things that you don't want. And yes, it's being negative, but I was out with a girlfriend the other night who's been with her lovely boyfriend for a decade now. And she met him on an app. And she shared with us that she had listed all the things that she doesn't want in a relationship. She said she was tired of the apps. She'd been through it. And she just was like, I'm done with this. I don't want this, 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 and this. If you are this, I would be interested. And this is absolutely the greatest relationship and the longest relationship she's ever had. And he's a great guy. She said she got a lot of hate messages from people. She got a lot of pushback. A lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people told her she was being negative. But you only need one person, and you need that one person that is right for you. So if you're not mean in the things that you say you don't want, but you're really thoughtful about things that you don't want, because let's face it, some of the apps these days don't let you put filters around parameters on certain things that might be important to you. So write them in your profile. If you are a very neat person and you like a tidy home, I think you need to write, I cannot be with somebody who is messy and is sloppy, right? Or however you want to word that. You can be funny about it if you're funny. I think it's really helpful because look, everybody says the same thing, right? Everybody loves the beach. They love the mountains. They love to ski or whatever it is. Yes, that's all commonality of things that you want to do. But however, actually, I'm a beach girl, love the beach. And I met a guy years ago on Tinder who really one of the greatest loves of my life. And we're still in communication. On one of our first dates, he said to me, because I met him in December, he said, so you like the beach? Are you the kind of person that wants to go for an hour and then you want to go do something else? Or do you want to sit on the beach all day? And I said, what a great question. I want to sit on the beach all day. And he said, great, me too. And that's exactly my point. It's relative. I can't stand if we get all set up on the beach and we're all sitting there and we all just starting to relax. And then the person that I'm with is like, okay, let's go do something else. Like I'll go take a walk on the beach, or like I do certainly love to get in the ocean, but I want to spend the whole day on the beach, right? So that's kind of exactly my point. You need to be specific about how you live your life, because commonality of lifestyle is why somebody is a good match for you. So the more specific you can be, the more you're going to attract the person that you want to meet. And honestly, I years ago had gotten out of a relationship with a man that I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And I was 39 and I really wanted to have children. So honestly, I got on match.com and I wrote, I want to get married and have children. If that's scary to you, please do not waste my time. And I was actually amazed at how many men messaged me and said, I want that too. That doesn't scare me at all. Right. And I've said that to clients over the years who have said to me, didn't that scare people away? I said, yeah, it scared away the people that didn't want that. I don't want to waste my time with people like that. Right. So that's exactly my point to you. Yes, you are going to turn off some people if you write specific things, but you don't want those people. And that's why the dating app's not working for you. The way the dating app is going to work best for you if you're really specific about what is important to you in your lifestyle, in living with somebody, really. I mean, the ultimate goal is to get to be living with the person, right? And at the very least, you're living your days with them. So whatever is most important to you, negative and positive, I really encourage you to list. If you've not had luck with the dating apps, altering your profile, I think is really helpful. And your pictures are really important. And my fear about pictures is people come out of a long-term relationship or a divorce and they just don't have good pictures of just them. So if you can, I think it's worth it in investing in professional pictures. I can put a link in the comments below of places that you can find a professional photographer near you. There's websites that specialize in doing dating pictures. There's also now AI that can create, you can take a picture and upload it into ChatGPT and ask them to make it just you. And it can, right? So I don't really encourage you using an AI generated picture, but if it looks just like you, that's okay. And honestly, when it comes to pictures, I think you definitely need to have a picture that accurately represents you, but your goal should be that you look better in person. You don't want to have some glammed up beauty shot that, yeah, is you and looks like you on your best day. If now when you show up, you're not going to look that good, quite frankly, right? You don't want to disappoint the person when you walk in. Honestly, you really want them to say, wow, you look better in person, right? And honestly, like, look, genetically blessed. And I've made a living as a model. And the cameramen have said to me, the camera loves you. So I know that I don't have a whole lot of right in giving advice in this department, but except that I coach people, right? So that's where this is coming from. I personally have had dates that I've met people online who have thanked me for looking like my picture, right? They actually said, thank you for looking like your picture. I think that is a very helpful element of meeting somebody online. One of the biggest complaints about meeting someone on an app is that they don't look like their picture. I think that's a big mistake. I think you want to look as much like yourself as you possibly can. And you need to have some sort of full-length picture, right? Because look, people have a type and they want to see what you look like, and it needs to look like you. I mean, look, I know as a woman, I can go up and down 5 pounds, and I'm, happiest when I'm down the 5 pounds than when I'm up the 5 pounds, but I'm usually within my weight. So I really encourage you to be within 5 pounds of whatever picture you post on an app. Because if you show up to meet somebody, if they're immediately, and I'll tell you, if you're a woman, men are visually wired. Their visual cortex is what lights up when they look at a woman that they're in love with. So men are very visual. So if a guy is wanting to meet you based on a picture you've shown him and you don't show up looking like that picture or better, you've instantly turned him off. And unfortunately, that's just the way his brain is wired. So really don't be deceptive. Being deceptive in any way on an app to get a date, I really discourage. And lying about your age is one of the biggest things that people do on a dating app because they want to get into the filter of the age range that they're interested in. But that is not going to endear a woman to you. It's really not. And if a girl doesn't want to date a guy who's 20 years older than her, and you lie and say you're 10 years younger, and then now she gets out on a date with you and she realizes that you're 20 years older than her, She's pissed that you wasted her time. She's certainly not going to be endeared by you. And let me tell you, that is 100% true. I, living in Manhattan, went on a lot of dates from dating apps. And I can count on one hand. Actually, I don't even need the entire hand. How many of those relationships became really good relationships? I mean, geez. Yeah, I'm actually thinking, I think there was only 3 in a period of 20 years or more. Well, because when the dates finally came out, but it's yeah, I met a guy who I really thought was the love of my life on Match.com with that ad that said, "I'm ready to get married and have children. If that's scary to you, please don't waste my time." Right? But yeah, he turned out to have issues. But no. And then yeah, I met a guy on Tinder, and I met a guy on OkCupid. That yeah, those are the only 3 actual relationships that led to feelings from all of the dates that I had. And boy, let me tell you, I could tell you some horror stories about guys that I went on dates with from dating apps, because largely they didn't show their picture. And look, I've made videos about this before too. One guy showed up drunk, and handsome guy and a lot of fun, right? I had a lot of fun with him, but I never wanted to see him again. And honestly, he showed up drunk, which was a massive red flag to begin with. But I got it. Sometimes somebody will have a drink to calm their nerves before they meet somebody. Although a drink is one thing, drunk is completely different. And anyway, yeah, this particular guy had a couple of cocktails with me and then insisted on giving me money for a cab home. And I said, no, I really don't need it. But, New York has all those little bodegas. We went into a bodega so he could use the cash machine, and he picked up a 6-pack to take home, right? And he called to take me out again. And look, geez, I can have fun with anybody, and I can certainly have a night going out and drinking and having a great time. But that's not somebody that I'm going to, I don't want to live that lifestyle. So, yeah, I think don't drink too much on a first date. I mean, unless you guys are really connecting. And here's a little tip too. A couple of times, guys that really grabbed my attention that I was really having an amazing time with, and clearly we were connecting, said to me, "Do you want another drink?" And I have said, I don't really need another drink, but I'm not ready to say goodnight to you yet. And I highly recommend that, right? Because you're letting them know, I really am enjoying your company. But this is the whole trap, especially of a first date. If you meet somebody and you really like them, and you're sitting at the bar and you're having drinks together, and you're not ready to go home yet, have another drink is the obvious way to stay at the bar. But in both of those cases, then, we went and did other things. So I encourage that you don't drink way too much. But I mean, look, if you're having a good time with somebody, it's fine to have some drinks together. But as long as you stay in control, because nobody likes a sloppy drunk, or now somebody that they have to babysit because they drank too much. Those are massive red flags on a first date. I mean, geez, I was on a date once. It was a guy that I'd met at a party. And then I went out to dinner with him. And he ordered a bottle of wine. And I just was drinking my wine slower. I was really trying to get to know him. And he downed his 2 glasses of wine and then took a third one. And then there was a little bit of wine left in my glass. And without even saying a word to me, reached over and started drinking my wine. And then I never wanted to see him again. And he was baffled. He really liked me. And I said, "You're an alcoholic. You drank the entire bottle of wine by yourself and then reached over and started drinking my wine without even asking me." And I like to have a couple of glasses of wine, but I was trying to get to know him, right? So yeah, exactly my point. Don't be flashing a massive red flag that you can't control your alcohol, or that now someone has to babysit you on a date. And definitely don't lie about anything, right? Weirdly, the statistics show that people lie about their height, their age, and how many kids they have, right? I get the height and age thing, but how many kids they have is, they say if they have more than 2 kids, they usually only admit to 2 until they get to know somebody. And look, I get that. But look, the thing about apps is that people feel that everybody is so superficial and they're looking for this beautiful person that is checking all their boxes. And that's the wrong approach in using a dating app. I think the right approach in using a dating app is to completely be honest about what your lifestyle is and what you're looking for in a partner. Don't lie about your age or your height or really anything, because if now this person goes to meet you and you've lied, that's a character thing. You're a liar. And that's a massive red flag that you really can't come back from. A lot of people are highly turned off by that. So, yeah, there might be a couple of people that don't care, but most people really do. On a first date, you really need to put your best foot forward. So if you've lied about something, that is not putting your best foot forward. And it's a massive red flag to your date. So yeah, if you've got fatigue about dating apps and you're frustrated, take a new approach, right? Update your pictures, smiling, well lit, just you in your pictures. Don't make me have to figure out which one's him, right? I hate that. Like, you don't even know the guy yet, and he's got him and 3 other guys. You're like, and occasionally, sometimes I'm like, well, who's that guy? Like, one of his friends is more attractive, right? So don't. It's just you and no one else. Pets are okay. Kids, not so much. And yeah, accurately represent who you are, what you like and what you don't like, I think is the way to attract the right person for you. You only need one, right? But that one can be a really great match for you if you're very specific in what you write in your profile. So I hope you'll like my video and leave me your comments. And I'm here for coaching if you need extra help. And thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in my next episode.